I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Senator Jon Tester questioned DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas during a Senate Appropriations hearing on Wednesday. The Montana senator called the role of the DHS secretary, quote, the toughest job in federal government right now. He also asked Mayorkas about the possibility of relocating agents from the northern border to the southern border. Listen in for the DHS secretary's response.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Tester.
Alejandro Mayorkas, good to have you in front of us.
Good morning, Senator. Great to see you.
Are you having fun yet?
Senator, I am very fulfilled and very challenged and very proud to work alongside incredible people in the department.
Thanks for your work. Thanks for being here. It's a tough job, maybe the toughest job in the federal government right now. There was a plan released that says that DHS will continue to augment CBP operations by bringing in law enforcement agents and officers from other parts of the country as needed. I've got a 550-mile border with Canada. Are we talking about reassigning northern agents to the southern border?
Senator, we have indeed employed TDY of agents from the northern border. We are very mindful of the need to keep the northern border secure. We've made those decisions with that critical mission in mind, and I should say that I've also worked very closely with our counterparts, my counterpart in Canada, to ensure that there is no inadequacy in the security of the northern border when we diverge resources.
So as I've talked to some of the folks you have working on the northern border in particular, the reassignment has some effects on retention. Truthfully, we've got people, I mean, it's tough on marriages when you're not living close to your family. So is DHS doing anything to reduce frequency of reassignments, or are you taking that into account?
Oh, we most certainly are, and you're absolutely right, Senator, that it puts a lot of strain on our Border Patrol agents and our field operations personnel. We're working on retention efforts. We're working on recruiting efforts. We are, of course, in the fiscal year.
How are they going, by the way? How's recruitment going? How's retention going?
I can provide you with data, specific data subsequent to this hearing, but this is an area of priority for us. It has been straining on our personnel, and the work of the Border Patrol agents and field office personnel is extraordinary.
Okay, so I will tell you, we got a long ways to go, and I say this same speech in front of the VA committee too. We got to hire nurses and docs for the VA, but having been a former ranking member on this committee and now chair of the Defense Committee, I can tell you that there's a lot of hires that have to be made. I really don't think it's smart to have the Defense Department down on the southern border. I don't think that's what they signed up for. And so I would hope that and I know you will, but I really got to put the pedal to the metal on this.
May I speak to that very briefly, Senator?
Yep.
You know, the Department of Homeland Security has relied on the National Guard every single year, I think since 2006. I may not have the precise year.
No doubt about it.
And that is one of the reasons why, of course, that in our fiscal year 23 budget, for the first time since 2011, we're asking for more Border Patrol agents. Our attrition rate, this is department-wide, is approximately 5% thus far this fiscal year. For Customs and Border Protection, as of April 9th, it's approximately 3%. I don't know, Senator, how to annualize that, but I will get the data to you, and I do have Border Patrol hiring data as well.
So I think the point to be made here, and look, it's hard to find employees in the private sector. It's hard to find employees everywhere. But the point to be made here is there is some urgency. There's been urgency for 15 years, maybe longer, to get people to the border that are trained, qualified, and able to do the job. It's a different job. And by the way, I applaud your efforts on the National Guard because it's a different job. It's a different job than the National Guard does. And so that's important. When we're pulling folks off the northern border and putting them to the southern border, you know as well as I do that the bad guys know where the weakest link in the chain is. That's where they're going to go. And they'll go to the northern border to come across if they want to do something bad. Or how do you stop that from being true? I mean, the focus is on the southern border, rightfully so, I get it. But the truth is that the northern border could become a problem too if, in fact, these surges aren't operated correctly.
I would say three prongs of action come immediately to mind. Number one, extraordinarily talented personnel who know how to identify the threats and address them swiftly. Number two, technology is a force multiplier. Number three, critical partnership with our Canadian counterparts to the north.
I got a statement, then I got a, with the chairman's consent. Our ports in Montana are still operating at reduced hours. We've got supply chain issues in this country. We get a lot of stuff out of Canada. We send a lot of stuff north to Canada. There's still some vaccine issues with truck drivers that I wish we could. I know it's a fight between the CDC, but we got supply chain issues, and if we want to solve it, trucking is one of the ways to get products into this country. With reduced port hours and the mandate on vaccines, it's a problem. And I'm not saying that people weren't doing this stuff for the best intentions, but I don't think we can have it both ways, okay? The second thing I wanted, and this is a question, so I'd like to get those ports opened up if possible. A lot of talk about drugs. A lot of talk about drugs coming from the south in Montana. I heard Shaheen talk about it in New Hampshire. She may have talked about it earlier in this committee. The first question is are these coming through on backpacks of illegal immigrants, or are they coming through our ports and trucks and cars?
Senator, the narcotics come through primarily the ports, or they're sought to come through primarily through the ports of entry, through in cars and trucks, and we have interdicted more narcotics than over the past 4 years. We've done a remarkable job. And interestingly, I've heard a lot of statistics about the rise in fentanyl. The number of opioid deaths, overdose deaths in 2020 increased over 2019 by, I think, over 50%. So the opioid crisis has been an enduring crisis year in and year out, and we've got to tackle the underlying issues. But in terms of the interdiction, we've done a better job than ever before, and that's once again because of the great work of CBP.
All right. Thank you.